Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Next week represents a year since my electorate was smashed by a 1 in 500 year flood. Next week will be a very traumatic time for many people in my electorate. And I had hoped that the federal budget that was released on Tuesday night might just do one thing, might give some hope to the people of the Mid-North Coast and the Hunter region that I represent, that this government cares and this government delivers and listens and delivers for the people on the Mid-North Coast and Hunter region that I represent. Now, I wasn't going to leave anything to chance with this federal budget. I'm a new MP. I'm learning the ropes, and I did not want to leave anything to chance. So I took the opportunity to develop a pre-budget submission. I worked with my communities. I asked them, what are the priorities in your community? Share them. It don't matter if it's a pothole in your local street or a major piece of infrastructure. And I developed this submission, which I put into the Albanese government's Treasury process pre-budget submission, doing the right thing, making sure the government was very clear on the agenda for the Lion electorate. And so the budget was handed down, and all I can say is that the budget was handed down provides no hope to the people of the Mid-North Coast. What it is a regional funding bloodbath. At a time when my community needs support, it's crying out for support for so many services and infrastructure right across the region. Now, I know a lot of you would be expecting me right now to say, what about that urgent care clinic in Taree? I'm saving that up for the women's statement. I am saving that up for the women's statement, but Deputy Speaker, I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed in the regional statement that the list of urgent care clinics in regional Australia left off Maitland. It left off the Maitland Urgent Care Clinic. I was very disappointed because, like you, it's important to my communities in the southern part of my electorate. Deputy Speaker, you may want to have a look at that list. I think it's page 51 of the regional statement, but Maitland is not listed. It should have been listed, as should have Taree, but I will come back to that in another speech today. And please, you're all welcome to join. But if I can just focus on one area that I went to quite extensive notes and submission is around roads, around local roads. I think all of us, the member for Fisher, the member for Mallee, we all are desperately needing investment in local roads. I'm on an inquiry at the moment looking at the financial sustainability of local government. They're crying out for more investment. I know the government says that they've doubled investment in roads recovery, a great coalition, a great National Party program from 20-odd years ago, and they acknowledge that roads to recovery is making some difference. But it's come at the expense of accessing the local roads and community infrastructure program, a program that every council that's appeared before the inquiry has praised as a means of getting funding out to key projects, because it's not competitive. It's effectively block funding, and it allows them to prioritise those critical roads, local roads, small roads in their communities. And again, this budget, there was not one additional cent in roads funding for any part of regional Australia, including the Lion electorate. And I made a number of submissions about particular roads, including the unfinished Pacific Highway. When the commitment was made to duplicate the Pacific Highway back in the mid-90s, it came after the Kempsey and Grafton bus crashes, and the decision was made at the time to fast-track the four-laning of the Pacific Highway and come back and do those the overpasses, the grade-separated interchanges. Well, what are we now, 20 years on? And we've got 6 of those overpasses still not on anyone's books, not on the state government's priority list. There has been some funding, I admit, for the Buckets Way, but we are a long way from seeing any prioritisation of fixing those intersections. Now, anybody that's from Dungog South that goes, maybe their kids go to school in Medowie or they're working at Williamtown or Raymond Terrace, or, they use the intersection, the Buckets Way and Medowie Road. Now, you're playing chicken with the traffic at those intersections, but yet they're not on the priority list for the New South Wales government, and they need to be, as does the Houston-Mitchell Drive intersection with the Pacific Highway, which is, I think, one of the most dangerous intersections on the Pacific Highway that needs to be addressed. Now, when you raise it with the New South Wales government, they're talking about, well, we're going to make another U-turn down 200 metres down the road. That is not going to save the lives of the people that use that intersection, and the community has been crying out for investment there. They're also crying out for investment and to support local councils to put money into the length of the Buckets Way, the length of the Lakes Way. The Lakes Way used to be the Pacific Highway, and if you drive on it now, I've got constituents coming to me talking about busted suspensions and blown tyres on that Lakes Way, which is not only an important route for people from Foster and Tuncurry down to Bulahdelah and south along the Pacific Highway, but it's a tourist route. I mean, we're talking about attracting people to our region, and they're coming on a pothole-filled, road, a substantial road, but one that's full of potholes. I mean, that's just great for, showcasing the wonders of the Great Lakes. And we've got the Thunderbolts Way as well. And then I could go to a lot of those smaller roads that are key, productive routes. We've got the Lawn Road, and the member for Maranoa is here, and he has been to Lawn Road, in fact made a substantial funding commitment to Lawn Road. This is a key road from the Comboyne Plateau down to the Pacific Highway. It's a produce route for dairy, beef and horticulture, and yet there again, you're playing chicken with your life if you're coming, a tanker's going up to collect milk and you're bringing your family down maybe to go to school at the Camden Haven High. Again, these are critical routes. This matters to the people in regional Australia. Good roads matter to people in regional Australia. That's how we, it's different. I think it is different in the cities. It is different. I mean, I've lived in Canberra. They do a pretty good job, I have to say, for roads in Canberra. I don't think they should be getting much money from the Commonwealth. I know where the money should be going, and that's to local councils. And on that point, I was exceptionally disappointed to learn that under this budget, the distribution of financial assistance grants have fallen again as a percentage of Commonwealth tax revenue, down to 49.49% from 1%. Now, that has a real impact on regional councils. Councils in regional members' electorates, some of them rely 10, 20, 30% on those financial assistance grants, and they make the difference to be able to fix the local roads, to make sure that the local footy club has a field that they can play on that's safe, to look after the local swimming pool. And in our communities, in our local council areas, we're talking about in Mid-Coast, it's not just one centre that they have. They have 5, 6 centres that have a swimming pool, that have a library, that have community sporting facilities. So, when you reduce financial assistance to local governments, you are impacting the way that people in our communities can live. So again, I mean, I've just touched on one issue that is incredibly disappointing from this federal budget. I'm also disappointed at the stripping $103 million from the national water grid. I have a dam that needs to be built in the Manning. That opportunity potentially is now lost. I also note funding has been stripped from the wine tourism and Celador program, and also reduced funding for the agriculture stream of the Natural Heritage Trust. Now, this is about helping and supporting people in our regional communities invest in environmental stewardship. So I think, as I said, this is a regional funding bloodbath, and shame on this Albanese government.
Yeah, great speech. The question is,